Here we go. It's What's Wild in New Hampshire by Wildlife Biologist Tara Corp. All right, Ben, where are we today and what are we up to?
We're at the Kilham Bear Center. We're accepting some apples that have been donated to us.
Take a look at the sum. Sum is 2 fish totes full, probably 1,000 pounds in each one. I'd be willing to bet.
Oh,
Close to.
heavy.
They're heavy. And Mark?
Yeah, Mark Edwards, and we're wild in New Hampshire today. We started down in the Concord, New Hampshire area with Carter Hill Orchard. They were kind enough to tell me if I want to pick them up and put them in the bins, we can have as many as we want. So we were down there this morning. Rob, the owner out there, is a big supporter for the wildlife, and Eric met me over there. We loaded them up and came up to Lyme, New Hampshire, and help out all these orphan bear cubs. How many do you have? Someone said that there's almost 100 here.
Try 110.
110. That's a new number.
That's the most we've ever had. But as you guys know, there's no food in the woods.
Right.
Zero.
Yeah.
And
So how did you end up with 110 bear, and where are they from, Ben?
they're from primarily New Hampshire and Vermont, but mostly New Hampshire. We get a few from Massachusetts, and we have 2 from Connecticut.
2 from Connecticut.
Yeah,
Wow.
And that was like pulling teeth.
Huh.
That's another story.
Okay.
Uh,
How long you been doing it, Ben?
It's close 1993, so it's close to 30 years.
Wow. Wow.
And we've
But this is the most number of bears you've ever had. But I heard you built a new pen out there.
Yeah, well, this is the new thing, but the old enclosure we abandoned, and I stripped it all out, and it became my tractor shed, and well, that ended.
Okay.
So,
Had to make room for bears and not the tractors, I take it.
yeah, unfortunately, Bob Green from Green Woodlands donated 2 of his guys for a month to renovate the pen.
Wow.
We had plenty of help. We got it done, and we've got 14 or 15 bears over there. So
Wow.
we still have room if more bears do show up.
Yeah.
And no, it's been a crazy year, and it's with no food in the woods, these cubs can't survive.
Right.
And it's something that Andy Timmons is, well, I guess he's moved up in ranks, but the bear project leader, which
Yep.
job you used to have,
Yep.
I think is planning to do an education thing to get the hunters to recognize that where there's a sow and cubs.
All right.
You know, in the bait season, you can identify them.
Yep.
And that
Oh, yeah.
was the argument for the bait season.
Okay.
They could.
Yep.
Well, they didn't.
Okay.
And there was an extraordinary number of them on the landscape.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is the 5th year of a drought in the last 7, so our bears have been stressed more than once with the lack of food.
Well, the drought this summer stressed them to begin with, and,
Right.
and then no fall mast. And I'm convinced, and I hope somebody studies it, that global warming, this is 4 years between these 2. It used
Okay.
to be 10 and 12 years.
Okay.
And we've had these years before. You probably remember.
Oh, yeah.
And
Big cub years. Yeah, when there's
there were years
a
when we
failure.
didn't even have a facility to pick the cubs up, and
Right.
they were just dying on the landscape.
Right.
That's unacceptable by the peoples.
Right.
You know, it's people that support us and the people that demand when a cub comes in their yard that something good happens.
Right. Right. Yep.
So it's been a tough year for them, and New Hampshire and Vermont have done a tremendous job picking up these cubs.
Yeah. You know, they were like over the summer, even the sows were killed getting in chicken coops because there was no food. A lot of them were hit on the road, right? So this happened all year long. It wasn't just, something that the hunters did this fall.
The only thing with the hunters, in a normal year, if there was an abundance of food, those cubs all could live.
Yeah.
And that I always like to stress. But in a no food year,
Right.
they're not gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a fact of life.
Right.
And they need that 30% of their body weight in fat to get through the winter. And lacking a mother to share
Her knowledge.
body heat
Right. And body.
exposure to
Yeah.
it's difficult for them. So,
Okay.
No, every year chickens were always our biggest thing, and then
Okay.
automobile accidents. This year there were more automobile accidents because the sows are looking for food. They're
Yep.
grappling.
Got to move
across the
further.
roads.
Got to move. And that's why more were killed. We got a bear kill over 1,000 already. He'll probably be close to a record.
Well, the bears are already going to den.
Right.
You know, and the bears in my study, even the sows with cubs are in there dead.
Yep,
So,
yep.
I don't expect there to be many more bears taken. Of course, it'll be all over within
Right.
a day or two.
Yep, yep. Now, when you feed these apples out, how long will these apples last?
Well, Ethan's been going through probably a crate like that in a week.
Okay.
Um,
So you get 2 weeks of bear food right there.
yeah, well, the supplemental bear food.
Okay.
Because they also eat kibble and bits, dog food, and some steam flake corn.
Okay.
They need broad spectrum foods as well as.
Right. How are you funded? How are you getting the food?
Well, everything's funded. We're a 50C3 nonprofit,
Yeah.
which we have been since 2018. Everything's funded on donations.
So
As you know,
how would they donate to you, Ben?
they go to our website, kilhambearcenter.org. There are donate buttons there, and that's the best way to donate. But people also send checks to P.O. Box 37, Lyme, New Hampshire.
P.O. Box 37 Lime with your check.
03768. And this is really supported by the people. As you know, New Hampshire Fish and Game does not financially
That's correct.
support us.
Right.
They have a tough enough time
Right.
running the New Hampshire Fish and Game Department, let alone anything else that comes up.
Right.
But there's definitely a demand for what we do. Sometimes we get let nature take its course business, but that's not an option.
Right. Right. Not with cubs.
Not with cubs.
Right. Right.
But
We've been at it a long time. Saved a lot of bears, but you got 110 bears to save this winter. So we need some donations to the Kilham Bear Center.
yeah, well,
And if you got some pumpkins or apples,
we've been getting pumpkins. The guys, people up in Piermont have gone to the pumpkin fields and picked up wagon loads of pumpkins. Of course, it's the seeds they like, and then they play with them.
okay, all right.
And apples,
Acorns,
but
not many.
they're
Right,
non-existent.
right.
Last year we had so many acorns and stuff. We had bins like that being filled up twice a day down by the road.
So he keeps a bin right at the bottom of his driveway here at 172
172 Grafton Turnpike.
Grafton Turnpike and Lime. If you've got some acorns or pumpkins or apples, drop them right there at the bin in the bottom of the driveway. You can help these 110 bear cubs. We need your help to feed these bears this winter, to get them through and to give them, because they're not going to go to sleep. They're underweight.
No,
If they went to sleep, they'd die.
Yeah. And we've had cubs come in just 2 weeks ago that weighed 15 pounds.
Wow. So they're on their way out.
Yeah. And we also, we've had some from where the mothers have been shot in Berlin, places like that, where the cubs were close to 45, 50 pounds.
Okay.
But there was still no reason for them to be shot. You can't leave them in Berlin.
Right. There's no food.
Well, there is, but
Right.
it's not the right kind.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they get handouts there. Awesome. Well,
No.
well, we'll keep working on it. Let's see if we can get some donations of funding and feed for these bears here. Mark, what do you tell us a little bit about the
Dream hunt?
Dream hunt a little bit. We should get a piece in about that, just because we're
So
going
the
to.
Wildlife Federation runs a program called the New Hampshire Wildlife Federation Dream Hunt. It's been in since 2007, and this year our candidate had John's muscular dystrophy, so he was in a wheelchair. We raised some extra funds, and we were able to get him an apparatus so he actually could hold the gun and he could, shoot. It was going to be a real tough hunt, but he did fantastic and harvested a beautiful bull moose second day.
And that's
One
all
shot.
donated.
100% donations
Yeah.
from people here in New Hampshire.
Yeah,
and so
nice.
it's a fantastic program.
Yeah, nice.
So we're looking for next year's candidate, and it can be anything that you can legally hunt or fish for in New Hampshire. So if you have someone that wants to go out and go tuna fishing, striper fishing, trout fishing, bass fishing, we'll take them. Criteria: 21 years old or younger, fighting or have fought a life-threatening illness,
Okay.
but you have to be a New Hampshire resident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're just adding that because Mark kind of leads that program, and he led us to these apples today, and he got out there at 7 o'clock this morning and picked every one of those off the ground.
lot of work.
That's a lot of work. Yeah, I picked apples as a youngster. I'm not picking apples anymore. But
I
yeah,
can't even kneel on the ground anymore.
We got a little bit of mush right.
we
right
can,
under
but we
there.
just can't get up.
Both of those problems.
So we're at the Kilham Bear Center here in Lyme, delivering some apples. There might be a chance, Mark. You said Ben says he could use some more apples. We may be looking for some volunteers
Yeah.
at Carter Hill here in a few days.
There
If you're looking for an opportunity to help out Ben's bears, 110 bears, and want to pick some apples from the ground and help us, let us know. You know, send us a message
Yeah,
and
like this or send a message to this link.
Yeah.
And we're going to get that together.
we're gonna pick more apples.
Yeah. We're going to do whatever it takes to get these bears through the winter.
There you go. And Ben, you're at the command. You're the man.
All right. Well, we appreciate all the help, and you know, we're going to build another building like this one. It's not as simple as 110 cubs, because come February, next year's cubs start coming in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then you got to be able to rotate between two different facilities.
A lot left to do, and to get these bears through the winter. 100.
Then we're building two carrying trailers, because at release time, it'll hold 6 bears each. At release
Okay,
time, you got to release 100
Right.
bears.
And you notice we're not up visiting the bears today. Why is that, Ben?
Well, we're not open to the public, even though the public gets told that all the time. They don't always understand it. But there's a reason for that. These bears are wild bears. They go.
And we
back
want them to be wild. We want them to be wild.
We want 'em to be wild,
We don't want to
and-
teach
and-
bears to come to your doorstep. These are wild.
And they are. And this program is successful because we've been doing the stats on it. My wife Debbie keeps all the stats, works with Andy, and 80% of these bears survive
Wow.
and are returned to the wild.
That is nice. 80% back
And
to the wild.
almost zero get into conflict situations.
Right. Right.
And I can explain a lot of that because I've been studying behavior, but
Another day.
another day. We won't get into that.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Ben. All right, we're at the Kilham Bear Center here in Lyme, New Hampshire, with a couple 1,000 pounds of apples that are going to be gone in 2 weeks. So if you want to help out, send a donation. Maybe help us pick some more apples for these bears. They're gonna need food all winter.
Yeah.
They're gonna need food all winter because they're underweight. They go to sleep, they're gonna die. So they need to be fed. So thank you very much, both Ben and Mark. Hey, good job. We're helping the bears here in New Hampshire, and you can too. Give us a hand. Thank you very much. This is wildlife biologist Eric Orr for What's Wild in New Hampshire.